Hi everyone, welcome. Happy Sunday. The sunshine is out again, which is so fortunate because I haven't yet got round to getting some proper lights in here, so it's really wonderful that the sun is shining, and hopefully it doesn't get too dark in here for you guys, but I think we're on to a winner. How are you guys doing today? Let me know if you're tuning in live, pop me a comment, or if you're watching the replay, just shout me a hello. Let me know how you've got on with this practice today. Yes, I'm all right. I'm feeling a little bit strange today because I've been in bed for 3 days, sleeping off a cold. It's really taken me down, and I've been sort of resting a lot, feeding myself lots of nutritious food. As the lovely Sarah Norrie, the lady who comes and does the food on my retreats, would tell me, she'd be like, make that miso soup. So I made myself loads of miso soup and lots of lovely nutritious food. And I'm feeling loads better today. I rested pretty much the whole day yesterday. So apologies if you were planning on tuning in yesterday. I thought it was better to postpone because I wasn't kind of feeling my best. And I wanted to kind of be able to show up for you guys and deliver a really good class. So hi, if you're tuning in, let me know. Write a little comment in the comments box. What you'll need for today's practice is a yoga mat, possibly like a plump cushion or a thin yoga block. So maybe just something from the sofa could do. Just a plump cushion is fine. If you have a yoga block, that's good too. If you've got any hand weights, that might be really useful today. Sort of anything between 1 and 2 kilos can be really good. That is it. Oh, and you might need a strap, like a yoga strap or like a belt or a scarf. Just see how you got them. But if you don't have any of those props, that's fine too. As long as you've got something to practice on, then you're good to go. So just before we get started, I want to tell you about the new term I'm running. So new Yogalates classes are starting in the autumn term. Is starting in 2 weeks' time, actually less than 2 weeks' time. We've got our Thursday morning and Thursday evening classes in Fulham and Hammersmith, and I teach every Sunday night in St Margaret's and in Twickenham, which is just over the bridge from Richmond. So if you're interested, check out the link. I'll pop it in the comments after the video. So you can head there and have a look at the classes if you're not already signed up. For those watching, do write me a comment and let me know you're tuning in. Otherwise, let's get started. So coming over onto your mat, I'm going to start in child's pose today. So getting into a comfortable child's pose, that could be knees apart or knees together, whatever feels most comfortable for you. If you want to rest the head onto the arms or the hands, you're very welcome to do so. Just getting really comfortable in this first very restorative posture. So connecting to the breath. And noticing what parts of the body are rising and falling with the breath here. So perhaps you might notice the breath coming in against the thighs. You might notice the breath rising into the back of the body. Feeling a sense of release across the shoulders, so allowing the shoulder blades to really relax over the rib cage and soften. Letting go of any tension in the face, around the jaw, around the eyes. As we really settle into this first posture. Feeling that connection, that grounding down to the floor. Taking just a couple more breaths here. And we're going to transition up into all fours. So we're going to come onto the hands and knees, spreading the fingers, spreading the thumbs nice and wide. I'm going to take a breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to start to round the spine, taking the pelvis under, bring the chin towards the chest, opening between the shoulder blades. And then inhale, we're going to take it the other way. So arching the spine, bringing the breastbone forward towards the front of the mat, maybe glancing forward, exhaling, coming right into that rounded position again. So moving through cat-cow nice and fluidly. Again, feeling the shoulder blades moving away from the ears as you come into the arched position. And just doing it a couple more times. Coming into that arched position, then we're going to tuck the toes under, we're going to take a breath in, and on the exhale, this time when we round the spine, when we go as high as we can, we're then going to lift the knees up and come into our first downward facing dog. We're going to take a breath in, we're going to come back down with the knees and straight back into that arched position, shoulders back, gazing forward. Good. Exhaling, tucking the toes under, rounding up. You can do that a few more times. Inhale, coming down with the knees, coming straight into that arched position, shoulders back, chest forward. Exhaling, tucking under with the pelvis and the chin, rounding and then lifting the knees up into your downward facing dog. Breathing with this. Inhale, coming down. One more time. Coming forward to the chest into that arched position. And then exhaling, tucking the toes, rounding up into your downward facing dog. We're just going to be here for a few breaths. So do adjust the feet if you need the feet further back, as most of us will. Breathing into that, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, grounding the hands, tilting the pelvis up to the sky. So tilting those sit bones as high as you can. We want lots of length with the lower back here. We don't want to be rounding. So if you need to bend the knees here, then please do feel free to bend the knees in downward facing dog at any time. Take a breath in here, and on the exhale, we're going to walk the feet one by one to the front of the mat. I'm just going to fold over the legs. A nice forward bend. And then on the next breath in, we're going to bring the hands out and up with a flat back all the way up. Exhaling, hands into prayer. So just coming into a standing position, I'm going to turn to face you, but as long as you're facing the screen, that's fine. You don't need to turn around. And we're just going to start to move the shoulders. So inhale, taking the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, down and back. Good. Starting to mobilize there into the shoulders. Good. And then we're going to push that the right foot into the floor. We're going to take the right arm up, reaching tall, sliding that left hand down the leg. We come over towards the left, grounding that right foot strongly down into the floor. Inhale, coming up, exhale, down. And again, inhale, coming up, reaching up, exhale, coming over, pushing that left foot into the floor this time. And then coming up. Okay, good. So we're going to come back to the front of the mat. I'm going to have the feet hip distance apart. I'm going to reach the arms down. I'm going to take a breath in as we take the arms out and up, reaching up really tall, feeling that breath coming deep into the belly. Exhaling, coming forward over the legs. Fingertips to the shins, roll the shoulders back, gazing forward. And I'm going to fold over the legs on the exhale. Hands come down. We're going to take the right leg back and then the left leg back, coming into plank position. You can have the knees down in plank position, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, engage the legs, push back through the heels, feel that strong line of energy all the way through the body. Good, and then we're going to lower the knees, take a breath in, exhale, we're going to hinge forward, lowering all the way down onto our front. Tops of the feet to the floor, take a breath in. On the exhale, we're going to lift, drawing the chest forward, take a breath in there to feel that length, the whole body, ground the feet. Exhaling, coming down. Now we can come back a little bit, tuck the toes, and lift up into downward facing dog. Feel that tilt up through the sit bones, up to the sky. Breathing deeply there, feeling that lovely stretch. And then take a breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to walk the feet one by one to the front of the mat. We're going to fold over the legs. And take a breath in as we come all the way up with a flat back. Exhale, hands into prayer. And we'll do that again. Take a breath in, coming out and up, reaching up tall. Exhale, coming forward. Fingertips to the shins or on the floor if that feels better for you. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, folding over the legs again. Hands come back. We're going to walk the feet back into plank pose. Really kick back through the heels. If you've got the knees down, that's fine. Knees up or down, we're going to lower down onto our front. Tops of the feet to the floor, hands underneath the shoulders, maybe a little bit further back, elbows in. Take a breath in to prepare, to lengthen, exhale, to lift. Feeling that strengthening, hold back of the body. Glutes engaged, the bums engaged as well. Tops of the feet down, engage the legs, and then lower down. Hands come back, tuck the toes under, push up into downward facing dog. Breathing there. Good. And I'm going to hold it there, and I'm going to take the right leg up to the ceiling. You might want to take the left foot into the centre of the mat a little bit before you do. Up to you. Holding it there. We're going to, on the exhale, we're going to curl the knee round the spine and almost come into a plank position as you bring that knee towards the forehead. Really tucking the pelvis under, rounding the spine. Inhale, we're going to come back up to the ceiling. Exhale, coming over. So right knee towards the right elbow. Keep that knee really high. Inhale, back up. Exhale, coming to the opposite elbow. Good. This is tough work. So stay with it. The other leg comes, that leg comes down now. You're going to bring maybe that into the centre of the mat a little bit. Taking the left leg up this time. On the exhale, we're going to curl knee towards the forehead. Round the spine. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, left knee towards left elbow. Keep that leg really high. Feel the core engaged. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, across the body. Left knee towards right elbow. Inhale, coming up. And we're going to place that foot down now. Take a breath in and exhale, bring the knees down into child pose, resting back. Taking a few resting breaths there. Okay, so coming up to seated position, we're going to come and lie down we come into a seated position onto our bum. So come and sit your bum onto the floor, bring the feet in front, scooch down the mat a little bit, so you've got the feet at the top of the mat. And then if you've got some weights, having one in each hand, if you don't have any weights, that's fine. If you've got a plump cushion, you might want to stick it between the knees, or you can use a thin yoga block as well. It can be quite nice to engage the inner thighs there. So if you haven't got weights, just extending the fingers and thumbs. Otherwise, having a weight in each hand, we're going to come up in the seated position. Take a breath in, exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis under, we're going to lean back. So but really tuck under with the pelvis, so we're sort of almost rolling down, but not going all the way down. Inhale, coming up, exhale, coming down. Inhale up, exhale down. Really feeling that core contract. So the tummy muscles really engaging back towards the spine. Shoulders back, chest open. One of the most common things with this is that the shoulders start to hunch, so make sure the shoulders stay back and away from the ears. Good. Squeezing that cushion. Or if you've not got a cushion, just imagining that you do. Feeling that engagement between the thighs. Coming up, and I'm going to do some side obliques. So I'm going to take the right arm out as we lean back. And inhale, coming up. Exhale, keeping the eyes on the weight as it's coming back on the arm. So we're using the weights, we really are starting to build tone into the arms here. It'd be really nice to add a little bit of resistance, a little bit of weight. Here we'll do one more on the left side. And then coming up, and we're going to pop the weights to one side. We'll pop the cushion to one side, and we're going to extend the legs, we're going to do some roll downs. So we're going to flex through the feet. If you want to bend the knees here a little bit, that's fine. Keep it tight in the backs of the legs. Bringing the arms up, really gluing the heels into the floor, sitting up as tall as you can on the inhale. Exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis under, we're going to roll down nice and slowly through the spine. So really nice and slow, articulating through the whole of the spine. Coming up, coming over with the arms. Take a breath in to bring the arms up. Exhale, tucking the chin, peeling one vertebra at a time up away from the floor. And then maybe coming forward into the forward bend. Do bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. One vertebra at a time. Continuing with that, articulating through the spine. And when you come forward, really drawing the tummy muscles back. Inhale to prepare, exhale. So we're moving on the exhale, nice and slowly articulating, really engaging those tummy muscles, reaching forward. Inhale, coming up. We'll make this one the last one really slowly now, so like almost 10 times as slow maybe. Really taking your time. Breathe as you go. So we're not doing it with one breath with this one because obviously it's taking longer. So we're going to really breathe with that. Stay with the concentration in the tummy area, and really this whole inner thighs to pelvis to abdominals area is really engaged. So we're working through the whole of the pelvic floor. And coming down. I'm just going to bring the knees into the chest and rock side to side. Okay, we're going to do one more ab exercise. So knees together, feet together, arms a little bit away from the side of the body, palms facing down, shoulders are going to stay glued into the floor through this exercise. On the inhale, we're going to bring the knees over to the right. Then lift that left hip up off the floor. Exhale, coming back with the lower ribs back to the floor. Knees come back to center, other side. Inhale, coming over to the left. Lifting that right hip off. Exhale, coming back to center. Good. And then if you want to advance it, you can take the top leg long and point to the toes. Knees stay together, or both legs even. Coming back to center. Over to the other side. Always working at whatever level feels comfortable for you. So if you're happy just doing the knees side to side, that's absolutely fine. The most important thing is to feel the work into the side of the waist. Keep those knees in towards the torso as well, to really work into the side waist. So we want to avoid any sensation in our back. So whichever variation you're doing, just going to do one more round. And the most important thing is to really feel those shoulders staying glued to the floor. Lower ribs coming down first, and that will help to engage the abdominals. Hugging the knees in, rocking side to side. Okay, we're going to roll over onto your side. Push yourself up into an all fours position. So we're going to come around, face top of the mat, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're going to take that from this neutral position with the four natural curves of the spine, core engaged. We're going to take the right leg back at hip height. On the inhale, we're going to tap. Exhale, we're going to lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Really as if you're reaching out away from the hip. So you're sort of drawing a line on the back wall, up and down. Really feel that emphasis of drawing back and away, rather than hiking the hips. So you want to keep the hips fairly level here. And make the next one our last one. Holding it up there, take a breath in. Exhale, we're going to curl the knee towards the forehead and round the spine. Inhale to extend. Exhale to curl. Really drawing the tummy muscles up and that forehead right towards the knee. One more. Extending out, then we're going to place that back foot down, tuck the toes under, push back through the heel, feel that core engagement, feel that lovely calf stretch actually, that back leg. And then you know you really are supported. You've got that calf stretch. Then you can take the other leg back without lifting the hips and straight into a full plank. Take a couple of breaths here, feeling that plank, that real lovely core engagement, wrapping around the center of the body. Taking a breath in, and exhale, we're going to lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Push the heels down towards the floor, roll the shoulders away from the ears. And then on the next exhale, coming down with the knees to the floor, back into all fours. We're going to do that again. So feel free to shake out the wrists if you need to. Do some circles with wrists. Otherwise, coming back straight into the left leg back this time. So we're going to point back, straight back from the hip, feel the core engagement. Take a breath in to tap, exhale to lift. And again, really reaching back and away through the toes. And I feel the stability in the core and the hips staying relatively level here. Two more. Okay, good. And then we're going to curl. So on the exhale, we're going to curl knee towards the forehead, round the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale to curl. Inhale, extend. Good. Really drawing the tummy muscles up as you round and extending out. And then we're going to tuck the toes under, push back through the heel, the foot on the floor this time. So we're sort of prepping for plank position, taking the elbow leg back when you're ready into your full plank. Kick back through the heels, feel the thighs lifting, tucking the tailbone under. Take a breath in and exhale, lifting up into downward facing dog. Excellent. Okay, so bringing the right leg up to the ceiling, going to point up through the toes, get as much length as you can. Exhaling, round the spine, and bring that knee as close in towards the chest as you can, as high up with that foot, and then bring it forward to the front of that. Do use the hand if you need to pull it forward. And the back foot, we're prepping for warrior one pose. So we're going to plant that back foot on the floor, toes sort of facing towards the left top hand corner of your mat. And then we're going to push the feet into the floor, coming up into that lovely warrior one position. Back foot engaged, we're sort of bringing the hips forward to the front of the mat. Arms can be in any configuration. It's good, maybe nice with the shoulders. Bending to the front knee, but we're engaging that back leg. Breathing into this pose. Okay, great. And then we're going to start to straighten the front leg. We might want to bring the back foot in a little bit. I'm going to place the hands behind us, going to hold the opposite elbows. Open the chest, take a breath in, engage the kneecaps and thighs, really pulling the muscles up in front of the legs, and then coming forward on the exhale. Just to the level where we can keep a relatively straight spine. If you feel you can come all the way down, that's okay. So it doesn't feel too restricting, then feel free to come all the way down. If you're just halfway, that's fine too. So the point is to feel the stretch, to feel that engagement in both legs still. Have a couple of breaths here. And then coming all the way up. You take the weight onto this front foot. Then it comes to arrow pose. So we place the hands to hips. Bring that left foot forward into that sort of flexed position with the foot. Maybe bringing the arms up if you want to. Or again, straight into that cactus position with the arms. Feeling the binding of the inner thighs in towards one another. So there's a real activation in the inner thighs. And then bring the hands into the prayer in the center of the chest. Coming into warrior three. If you need blocks underneath the hands for this pose, then feel free. Grounding that sort of right foot right down into the floor nice and strongly. Coming forward at the upper body as you bring that back leg back. So flexing through that left foot. Feeling the core engagement here. The tummy muscles really working to support the balancing pose. Finding a focus with the eyes and steadying the breath. Good, and then bringing the hands down, we're going to step that left foot back, and we come back into downward facing dog. Breathing into this lovely stretch. Feeling the heels moving down towards the floor, the hands grounding. And getting that lovely lengthening action through the spine. Okay, so we're going to take the right foot up this time. So right foot up to the ceiling on the inhale. Exhale, coming forward, rounding the spine. Bring the foot as far as you can to the front of the mat. Popping it down, use the hand if you need to. And planting that back foot down. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong leg, aren't I? So, sorry guys, left leg forward. Goes probably all on the right leg, which is good. So left foot forward, right foot down. And we're going to inhale, the arms coming up. Good, so making sure we've got the right length of stance here between the feet. Bending the front knee, actively engaging that back leg. Bringing that right hip forward, left hip back. And the arms in any configuration that feels good. Even bind the hands, come into that sort of pistol grip if you prefer. Good, and then we're going to take the hands behind us, holding the elbows, but taking the other way, so a more unnatural way of sort of crossing the arms. And then we're going to start to straighten the front leg as we bring that back foot in a little bit. Engage kneecaps and thighs nice and strongly. Feel that engagement in the inner thighs. Inhale, lifting up with the chest. Exhale with a nice straight spine coming forward, maybe just halfway. If that feels good, if you can come all the way down, feel free. And you want to feel a nice stretch into the back of that front leg. Back foot is rooting down really strongly for us. breathing into this pose and feeling with the breath that we are accessing the deeper tissues. We are creating space in the body. And then coming all the way up. And then coming into arrow pose, hands to the hips, bringing that right foot forward, flexing the foot. Feeling the balance and equal weight through all four corners of that standing foot. And that the inner thighs, like a pair of scissors, are engaging in towards one another. Bringing the hands into prayer, coming into warrior three. As we hinge the weight forward of the upper body and take this leg all the way back. Push back through the heel as if you've got a wall behind you. You're pushing back against. That could be a really nice image that works for many people. You can also have the arms forward if you want to, alongside the ears, or the hands onto blocks. Keep breathing. And then we're going to step this foot back. And then I'm going to turn around to face you guys. Feel free to stay where you are. So we're going to turn the feet out. We want wider than hip distance with the feet. We're going to bring the arms up on the inhale. Exhale, we're going to come down into plie. So we're going to bend the knees in the same direction as the toes. Make sure that they're going in the same direction. Opening the chest, dropping down with the hips. Breathing into that. And then we're going to place the right elbow onto the thigh. Bring the left arm up and over. Opening, breathing into the side waist. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, other side. Exhale, coming forward. And we're going to start to straighten the legs, turn the toes in, and come forward into a wide-legged standing forward bend, Padottanasana pose. You can always have the hand on a block if you need to, the hands on a block. Otherwise, bring the hands down to the floor. We're going to turn this left foot out at a slight angle, and then we're going to bend the knee and come down to that sort of left side. Breathing into that. Other foot is pushing nice strongly into the floor. And coming back to center, walking the hands back, going to turn those toes out and drop down to the other side now. Okay, good. Coming back to center, hands to the hips, take a breath in. Exhale, coming all the way up. I'm going to scoot the feet in. I'm going to come down to the floor. So, coming all the way down to lying onto your back. We're going to prep for the bridge pose. So, bringing the heels a little bit closer in towards the bum than we would usually. Arms alongside the body, taking a breath into the belly. Exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis under. We're going to roll up through the spine. Vertebra by vertebra. And then on the next exhale, we're going to roll down. So chest rolls down first. Articulating through the spine, coming back to neutral, that space underneath the lower back. And again, exhaling, rolling up through the spine. Engaging the glutes, the back of the body. Feet equal weight into the floor, nice, feeling that pressure down into the floor. If you want to bind the hands underneath the body, interlacing the hands, rolling one shoulder under, other shoulder under, and lift the pelvis. Breathing into that really nice shoulder stretch. And then we're going to release the arms. Take a breath in and exhale, rolling down. Good, back into neutral. We're going to place the left ankle on the right thigh. We're going to bring that leg in towards the chest, hands around the back of the shin. We're stretching into the outer hip, butt. And then releasing that, we'll do the other side. So right ankle onto the left thigh, coming in. You can always keep the foot on the floor as well for this, if that just feels enough, or you can use that right hand to push the knee away from you. So if it feels too much to draw the hands around the back of that thigh, then obviously keep the foot down, that's fine. Good, and then releasing that. And then we're going to bring the bottom over to the left side of the mat, bring the knees into the chest, and drop the knees over to the right. We're going to maybe extend the arms out, if that feels good. Maybe looking in the other direction. You can always support the knees onto a cushion or a block. And I'm going to bring the knees up. I'm going to go the other side. So bottom over to the right side of the mat, knees into the chest, and we go the other way. Bringing the knees up now, we're going to extend the legs into Shavasana. So if you want to put the knees over a bolster or a couple of cushions, that can be quite nice, or just bending the knees. Otherwise, extending the legs long if that feels okay for you and your spine. Palms can be up or resting the hands onto the belly. Just closing the eyes for a few minutes as we rest into Shavasana, final resting pose. We made it. Taking a moment of stillness to acknowledge the practice and how you're feeling now on this sunny Sunday morning. Resting here onto your back for a few minutes. If you have the legs long, just allowing the feet to drop out to the sides. Any tension in the hips to release. The shoulders resting, letting go of any tension. Softening across the face, the jaw. Fingers and thumbs unfurling, any holding, any tension there. Breathing easy. And when the mind wanders, as it will do, guiding it back, guiding the attention back to the body, to the breath, to this simple stillness. Rest is something that so many of us find tricky to find time for. So if you're enjoying this time just resting in your Shavasana, feel free to stay there as long as you like. Treat yourself. Otherwise, if you're happy to, starting to bring some movement back into the body now, wiggling the fingers and toes. Bringing the knees into the chest. Coming over onto your side and up into a seated position. Taking a few moments here in this stillness, seated stillness. Either placing hands into prayer or just resting hands on the center of the chest. And gently bowing the head. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that practice. And I'm sorry for the break in the connection. I'm going to contact Facebook and find out what the deal is, why this keeps happening. But I hope you have a wonderful sunny Sunday, whatever you're up to. If you do want to join me in my new term, classes will be starting in Fulham, Hammersmith and St Margaret's in Twickenham very soon. And I won't sound quite so husky then, I don't imagine. I'm going to rest for the rest of today and get over this cold properly. But thank you so much for joining me, those who did, and I will speak to you guys soon. Namaste.